It's the late afternoon on a weekend, and I had just settled down to watch some television. I had not known it at the time, but my roommate was gone for several days, and as a result, there were multiple wilty houseplants right next to me. I immediately rushed to the kitchen looking for something to care for them with. I came back with a pitcher of water, some scissors, and even fertilizer. After several minutes of working on these plants, I sat down and admired my work. They looked healthier, cleaner, and overall improved the aesthetic value of my room. There are many benefits to owning plants, including that aesthetic value, and the amount of work that is required is very minimal. Only several minutes a week can help you have a beautiful house with beautiful houseplants. Now, there are 3 easy steps to taking care of a houseplant. You want to water it, you want to feed it, and you must trim it. I will show you those 3 steps today, and at the end of this, you will know how to take care of virtually any plant. First, you will need to gather your materials. You will need a pitcher or a cup for watering. You will need a spoon. You will need fertilizer, and you will need scissors. The first step is arguably the most important step in keeping any plant alive, which is watering. Now, this plant I have here today for you is called a philodendron, or a heart-leafed plant, and all you must do to keep it alive is water it once a week using a method called deep watering. Now, while it varies per plant, we're going to use the philodendron. So what you must do is clear back the foliage or the leaves so you can access the soil directly. From there, you must pour the water slowly but evenly across the soil. And I will do so now. In doing so, you make sure that the plant receives 100% of the water and that none of it touches the leaves. This is a good thing because if the water gets on the leaves, your plant is at risk for fungus. Now, another way to tell that you have sufficiently watered your plant is by checking the bottom of the pot. You can do so by feeling the bottom, or the little holes where the water comes out, and if it is moist or wet whatsoever, then you have done a good job at watering. Once you have checked that, you are ready to move on to the next step. The next step involves fertilizer or feeding. While this is arguably the least necessary step, this is a must if you want to have perfect foliage and plant growth. What I have here today is a spoon. You can use any sort of vessel to transport the fertilizer, and I also have a fertilizer for houseplants, which is specifically dry. Dry fertilizer means that there is a number of tablets or granular material that you pour in the soil. The first step you must do is take 1 tablespoon or 3, and it all depends on the size of the pot. This here is the smallest possible size, therefore I am using 1 tablespoon. What you must do is remove the foliage once again, like you are watering the plant, and slowly sprinkle the granular fertilizer around the soil. In doing so, you distribute the fertilizer to slowly access the soil over the next few months. Fertilizer is only necessary every 3 to 4 months at minimum. Now, once you have done that, your plant is set. You've watered it and you've fed it. The last and most important step, in my opinion, that is often overlooked for plant care is trimming. Now, I suggested scissors, but today I will be using my hands, which are a great alternative if you do not have scissors available to you. This step, I ask that you join me in practicing the motions necessary to trim your plant. What we use is called a pinching method. Now, you will take 2 fingers, it doesn't matter if you have fingernails or not, and find something called the node. Now the node is a growth at the top of a plant's branch, and that is what turns into a leaf or a stem and continues to expand outwards. You take those two fingers, place them at the base of the node or the leaf, whatever it may be, and pinch it. What you get is the node completely removed from the plant. Now, if you're using scissors, it's the same concept, except you snip it. Now, when you are pinching or snipping, it is important to remember to cut it at a 45-degree angle. Once you have removed the node, you continue to rotate the plant and do so throughout it, making sure that there are no yellow or brown leaves. In order to check for yellow leaves, you must also remove the leaves like this and check the base of the plant near the soil. This is often where the most dead growth is found, whether it be nodes or rotting leaves. You must remove them. Once you have trimmed your plant, you are ready to go. Your plant now is more aesthetic, more healthy, and will overall bring more value to your life. To sum it all up,